Good morning, everyone. And on behalf of Town Square Media, the Shore Sports Network, and the WOBM Christmas Classic, I would like to welcome you to the official start of Christmas Classic Week with our annual tip-off breakfast. My name is Kevin Williams. I'm the director of the tournament, director of the Shore Sports Network, and we're delighted that you all managed to find a way to get out of class time to spend some time with us this morning. This is an exciting time of year. I would like to introduce some of our guests who are here this morning. You can hold your applause to the end. At the table to my right, your left as you're looking at it, from our partner, the Toms River Regional School District, Superintendent Dave Healy, District Athletic Director Ted Gillen, Athletic Coordinator at Toms River North, Lisa Madigan. From my tournament staff, guys who, if you're at the tournament at any point in time, they will all be there all the time. That's their contract. I have Jim Hibbs, Ed Sarluca, Bill Madigan, and Paul Barnosky, and Joe Arminia, who's been my assistant director for probably longer than we would both like to remember. At the table in the center, my boss, the market manager for Town Square Media in the Shore area. For those that don't know, that includes, besides the Shore Sports Network, radio stations, 92.7 WOBM, 94.3 The Point, 105.7 The Hawk, and Beach Radio 1160 and 1310. Dennis Lammy, who I appreciate very much for allowing me to spend a lot of my time when I should be working for things that actually make him money doing this, which he reminds me about on a regular basis. We are delighted to have with us this morning the Chief Executive Officer of Community Medical Center, part of RWJ Barnabas Health, Patrick Ahern, who will be addressing shortly. With him from Community Medical Center is their Director of Development, Allison Clemente, who happens to know the boys basketball coach at Central Regional intimately, and is also pregnant with their second daughter, who is born in March. Pregnant women always get applause no matter what. A very important sponsor and supporter of this event is Seaview Orthopedics, and we're delighted to have with us this morning Dr. David Junkin and also Michelle Gibson. Doctor will be addressing a little bit later. Stacy White, the athletic trainer at Toms River, or Middletown High School South. I'm sorry, I see you so much there. At Middletown South, one of the outstanding trainers will be working the tournament, and she will be coming up a little bit later with some important words, especially for the athletes themselves. And to my left, from the Shore Sports Network family, my right hand, Steve Meyer, Matt Manley, who's our managing editor for basketball, does a great job covering basketball for us, and Ryan Waldus is our video director. So, but one of the things I always say, and I'll say again, is 8 of you who are in this room today, next year will be college freshmen, and will be honored to receive the WOBM Christmas Classic Scholarship. We've been doing this since we started, and now for the last few years, what we do is each year we select 4 boys and 4 girls to receive a $500 scholarship. So how you know it works is it's eligible, obviously, for those of you who are seniors, and at the end of this school year, I will contact your coach directly, and they will submit the final high school transcript of their highest academic senior on their team. It doesn't matter if you're the star point guard or you're the last person on the bench. Whoever is the highest academic performer, your coach will send me their transcript, and then what we do is we get those, and in the fall, they are given to a couple of retired guidance counselors. We now put white tape over the names and the name of the person and the school, and they go through the transcript and select 4 and 4. It is a daunting process because what I'm sent is very, very impressive. And then what happens is 3 weeks ago, I reached out to this year's 8 selections, notified them all, have since corresponded and gotten paperwork. 5 of the 8 will be on hand to accept their awards during halftime of the Boys and Girls Championship games on December 30th. 3 of them are actually playing basketball, but I do want to announce, I know the coaches are aware, maybe you know or not, but this year's scholarship recipients on the boys' side, from Toms River North, now a freshman at Stockton University, Nick Dunzak, a graduated athlete from Marlboro High School, now at Indiana University, Nicholas Lugo. From Freehold Township, was now a freshman at the University of Pittsburgh, Seth Meisner. And from Middletown South, now at Rutgers University, Daniel Mitchinson. On the girls' side, a graduate of Toms River South, who's now at Stevens Institute of Technology, playing soccer there, Caitlin Carroll. From Red Bank Regional, who's now at Penn State University playing lacrosse, Megan Murray. From Toms River North, who's now a basketball player at Colgate University, Jenna Paul. And from Point Pleasant Borough, now a freshman at Rutgers University, Riley Sexton. All 8 of those young men and women will be receiving $500 at halftime of the championship games, or if they're not there, they'll either be represented by a family member or their coach. And 8 of you in this room today, and you know who you might be, will be eligible for that next year. So that is one of my favorite parts, because with what we've done this year since we've started, we now have topped the $90,000 mark in scholarships given. And I always point to the first year we did this. Our first recipient was a guy named John Klimkowitz, who was a center at Southern Regional High School and has gone on to become one of the foremost orthopedic doctors in the United States. So I'd like to think that money we gave him that first year might have helped him a little bit. Probably not. But the reason we do this scholarship program is because of, and you're going to hear me mention sponsors, and whether you like it or not, I want you to listen, because what Mr. Healy said is true about all the adults or the other people that do the little things that have made this, I think, a little bit special, and certainly quite different from most of our holiday tournaments, is we have a wonderful relationship we have with RWJ Barnabas Health, and closer to home here, Community Medical Center. Obviously, they're the sponsor of the building we'll be playing in, but besides that, they handle the scholarships, and they're the ones that fund that, which is an incredibly important part.
I appreciate that's a great introduction. I didn't know I did all that stuff. But it's nice to be here today with you guys. This brings back a lot of memories for me. Growing up in Queens, I played a lot of sports, played basketball, played baseball, and it taught a lot. And I'm sure you guys know this. I mean, whether it be teamwork or camaraderie or leadership skills, but what you learn through sports is really amazing. I have 4 kids, which is why lots of sports. And I'm chuckling this morning. They're all older now, and so. But I think of all the sports. I coached basketball and soccer for many years. They played pretty much every sport you could think of. They played basketball, baseball, soccer, football, hockey, swimming, diving, wrestling. So we were busy. And it's interesting also that the one that really struck me and really was the epitome of what you learned was wrestling. My son wrestled for a number of years, and I know you guys are playing basketball, but he wrestled, and just that one-on-one, and how, it's funny, how you handle yourself. And there's nobody else out there but you. And I know you guys, you're playing a team sport, but it's not just about the individual, it's about working together. And so I think that you guys are going to have a great tournament. I'm very excited for us to be a part of it. And my last little story, my youngest is 25. It's Emma. She's Emma. And Emma was a 1-pound preemie. And she had cerebral palsy. And so, and this is really the importance of sports. So Emma, has a hard time walking and everything else, but she started swimming at a young age. And she was one of those kids where just getting her in the pool and swimming was a big feat. And she would come in last every single time, right? But it was just a matter of her finishing and being a part of it. Well, Emma ended up going to high school, ended up swimming in high school, and competing, winning in high school, which was just tremendous. And she's a beautiful young 25-year-old, just got engaged to get married. So, and I think sports really helped, really gave her structure, really gave her meaning, really gave her confidence. And that's what you guys, you're part of something that gives you confidence, it gives you a place, and it also puts you part of the team. And to me, these are the best years of your life. You're going to remember what you've done with your teammates, win or lose. I've yet to figure out how to lose gracefully, but I'm sure you guys are better at it than I am. But win or lose, to me, you're doing great things, and you're having fun in high school. And I wish the best for you in the tournament. And I'm happy and proud of the fact that we're a sponsor of it. So thank you very much for your time. Have a great tournament.
One of the big things for me with this event has always been about tradition, about continuing the tradition. You know, too many people know the story that we started this 36 years ago with 8 boys teams, and we started it, the first coaches meeting in the living room of my house, and obviously we've grown a little bit over time. But I am very aware that the fact that when we started this, that we replaced the Southern Regional Roundball Festival in 1984, and I'll mention a little more later, but the guy who sort of got me into this and carried me for the first couple of years when I had no idea how to run a basketball tournament was Jim Runke, who was the longtime coach at Southern Regional High School. And really interesting, in early January, they're actually going to dedicate one of the basketball courts at the school in his name, which is pretty cool. But several years ago, and I don't remember, it's probably 20 years ago, kind of felt like I'd like to do something to recognize someone each year who does something that help makes the tournament special. And being that Jim was really the guy, without him I don't think we ever would have gotten this off the ground. We called it the Jim Runke Contribution Award. And it's just our way of, you know, saluting someone who, it could be anything. You know, we've had many sponsors over the year. The guy standing in the corner over there with the, I remember when his hair wasn't that color, of course, same as mine, is Bob Van Bakov. Bob is the general manager of this place, and I'll talk a little bit more about him later, but he is a recipient of that award. And this morning I'd like to present this award, as I sort of do every year. For example, like last year, Nick Pagano from the Office Restaurant Lounge got it, because as the coaches know, we have that seating meeting dinner every year, which the Villa and the Office sponsor. And I will just read very briefly. The Jim Runke Award is presented to someone for his efforts and enthusiasm making the tournament such a tremendous success. I mentioned our staff, our guys, and it doesn't matter when you were there, you'll see the 6 of us or whatever, because we're there all the time. And we each have different tasks, some more important than others, as I look at them with a smile. But some of us have the flexibility of moving around during the game, but then there's those who sit at the scorer's table and never move because their job is really important. And I think in the 36 years, we've really only had 2 official scorekeepers, a guy named Jim Mount, who when we started, and this next man who on Saturday, he has no idea by the way, on Saturday will be sitting there keeping the book for 8 straight games from 10 o'clock in the morning, and if we're lucky we get out of here at 10 o'clock at night. We'll do the same on Sunday, and every game in the arena of the 52, he will be the official scorekeeper, and I can count on one hand the number of mistakes he has made over these many years. So it's my pleasure to present the Jim Runke Award to my friend Jim Hibbs.